right, folks, welcome back to an episode of AFC Thames with DoctorBenjyFM. Good to see you. I hope you find you extraordinarily well. Now then, what do we have on the table today? Well, you can see from the fixtures, we're going to play Juventus, and depending on time, we might play Chelsea as well, so stay tuned. But you can see, since we last met, it was the 2-0 victory as well as the emphatic win over Thames. And then this happened. It was a 3-2 defeat to Liverpool in which we were 2-0 up, and I felt like we were cruising. I made some changes. It then fell apart rapidly. It felt like the final 15 minutes were not good. Bo had a 6.4. We'll talk about him in just a minute. Yeah, not ideal. And then we followed that up with a 3-2 defeat to Marseille. So it was a theme of the afternoon, really. I say of the afternoon. I mean, the afternoon I played the game. So you can see there a few problems. But I mean, Logitech getting a couple of goals, something to be proud of. I mean, something to take away from the game at least. And then, fortunately, we found our way back into a little bit more of successes. West Ham, a 3-1 win, a 3-2 victory over Shrewsbury with a rotated 11, a 1-1 against Manchester City, which I think they're probably favourites for the league, so I'm kind of happy with that. Sporting was a 3-0 victory in the Champions League, and then a 2-1 and 4-0 against Arsenal and Brighton, respectively. Lead us into today, then, where we play Juventus. We currently sit second in the league table. You can see they're not too bad at all. United lead the way at the moment, but our goal difference superior to everybody else, which you like to see. Randrup and Omen Trout, they score goals, and Aganovic, he assists goals. The one question mark then, and he's become a theme of recent episodes, how could I not mention him, is Joseph Abo, who I'm getting performances out of. I'm getting Norwich-esque Premier League performances out of. Have we signed the best player who's not actually that good? I don't know. It feels a little bit like that at the moment. We're still trying to figure out his best role in terms of promises at this point. A lot of them he's happy with. He's dropped the loan one. He's not bothered until 105 days time. I don't know what he's expecting in that time, but everything else seems to be okay. I have improved the coaching setup. He doesn't agree. And then designated penalty taker, we've run out of penalty. So hopefully that happens maybe today against Juventus. He's set up to take them, so hopefully we see it happen. I don't know what to do with him. Do you play him as the playmaker? He's not got amazing finishing ability, so like when you play a playmaker, they're not going to shoot as often. It doesn't necessarily matter as much. I mean, gosh, maybe I've not played one ever, I don't think. But I'm trying to get better performances out of him, and maybe this is the way to do just that then. Like, his recent form hasn't been horrendous, don't get me wrong, but there's a few, he sort of has one good game and then he sort of disappears for a couple, and we don't know what's happened. And fortunately, we're still winning. But here we go then. Into it, you can see I've kept the squad pretty fresh in recent times as well. Everyone's sort of fit, quite a lot of players sharp that aren't even playing for me. Again, with the Champions League games, with the league games, and the cup games, it's spliced into there as well. It enables me to keep it really, really tidy. Salatiel is probably one of the only question marks. He's not had a great season so far. His star ratings have dropped a little bit, and that'll be because of the players that have come in around, and you can see the power of our front four right now. See, I'm not really sure what to do with him. I feel a little bit lost with one of our, what I thought was going to be one of our main men for years to come. It's not been his season so far. There's still plenty of time, of course, but yeah, so far, not great. And guess I'm sort of outshining him with the goals at least, but yeah, the two of them, that central area, it's proving to be confusing, maybe not so much. Complicated is the word I was going to use. I'm playing a box-to-box and a Mazzala. That's sort of born out of the idea that I've got a tactic where I play two Mazzalas. I thought actually having a box-to-box, it makes one of them a little bit more defensive. So that was the idea behind that. I should say with the two Mazzalas, it works really well with good sides, and we are a good side. But we're going to play Juventus today. We're going to play the box-to-box and the Mazzala. Again, we could change it to a ball winner and a playmaker. Of course we could, but trying new things. Hopefully we're going to get the best out of it. It's definitely a problem area for us, as Ishmael can't play, so Melon comes in. Right then, here we are then. Gil will be at the back with Brazils, Pintado, Eddie Elso. We've got Salatiel and Ngassam in the centre, and that front four that they should be afraid of. I've played a couple of games for England as well, where I've called up Lewis Nee, because of course I have. It was about time. One of our players, we're representing, so we'll take it. Now, Juventus, I've got to be honest, I don't know anything about. They've got a striker up front called Jurgen van Pol. I know nothing of them. I've not really looked at Serie A throughout the entire save, it must be said. I'm going to do a lucky dip here. I'm going to click the name that stands out to me the most. It may well be Van Pol if he is their striker. Okay, let's see what we're up against. How good is Van Pol? I shouldn't have clicked it. I should not have clicked it. Should have just left it alone. He's good. He's very good. He plays for Juventus. Of course he's good. Let's see then how we get on so far. As mentioned then, a win and a defeat in our Champions League group. I don't really want to slip into the Europa League. I'd love to get through to the next round. The finances involved in doing well in the Champions League can be massive, so I want to try to take advantage of that. and a home game against Juventus. Something that I think you can, get behind a little bit at the very least. So here we are then, in our famous red and white. They're, of course, in their famous black and white. And let's see then, will there be... Oh, and they've got a Van Son at centre-back as well. They've got all the Vans, viewers. Goodness me. They should open some sort of cash and carry. Are Vans required at a cash and carry? That's gone in. Edinaldo has scored. Christian, someone or other, has played it across to him. And we are behind 1-0. It's a really good cultured finish, you've got to say, from a really quite tricky spot to shoot from. It's pulled back to him, he lets it come across his body, and then left-footed half volley. That is such an underrated, fantastic finish, I feel like. Is it underrated if I say how good it is? We'll go to a more positive outlook, try and maybe speed up our tempos a little bit. That's really what the mentalities are. It's how quick you want your team to play. That's basically it, really, as they're working the ball quite neatly. We do get it back, of course. Randrup, that's one of our key men. That's who we're looking to make a big mark in this type of game, I think. Yeah, I think so. And Trout on that side, of course, he's a man that we've fallen in love with as the ball drops down. So far, a bow, we know he's on the pitch, but we've not seen him touch the ball. There he is, finally involved at last as an Ngonch now. I don't know how that will intertwine with all the other positions. I've not played him as an Ngonch before. We're trialling something. Agonovic in a massively open space. They've left it too open, gets the goal and levels it against Juventus. We'll take it. It feels, I don't know, this game's felt weird. Their highlight, I was a bit concerned they were going to win by quite a few, but now we've worked our way back into this. Some nice football from us as well, and then really nice peel off from Agonovic. When he shoots that, he's got so much time, so much space, and we are level with Juventus in Europe. We've come a long way, haven't we? We have come a long way, and dominant in the game. So far, their one shot was the goal that we saw earlier on. This is the type of competition I've got no expectation for. But of course, the end of this series, I'm hoping, ends with a Champions League and a league win. Because if the original Thames, hopefully you're not watching it. I don't want to ruin it for you, but hopefully you've seen it. We didn't win the Champions League. We didn't win the Premier League. Like this idea that all YouTube saves end with glory. Thames the first time around did not. I'm trying to outdo what I did with them, with these boys, and Trout is leading the way right now. Our very own Ben-Hur as Trout, but makes it 2-1, and now we've got a lead to look after, which is always quite fun. We went to positive. It's brought about 2 goals, clearly playing at a slightly higher tempo. That's that old Italian stereotype that they're not as good at doing it in Italy. I don't know if you've noticed, by the way, recently, I'm basically live comming the entire games in recent times. I don't edit these nearly as much. I did just then. We've got a corner. Here we go. Adilso. It's a very dangerous challenge, but we do keep the ball on that side. And Gessam, I think it's hit the post and gone behind. He's been good in every time you've seen him, I feel like he steps up every single time. So you're clearly having a positive impact, viewers. I appreciate that. As the head ball is headed away, we've got a chance to come back at this as Ngassam out to a boat. It's a lovely slide ball through. Slid ball through? Slide ball through? Slid? I think slid is the right terminology. As Ngassam gets back on it, we look dangerous here. Trout, it's got to be surely. Randrup, what is that save there? He's dived backwards and tipped it behind. I don't know how he's done it. We still lead 2-1, but that was pretty stupid. That's the word I'm going to use. 15 minutes to go. I kind of want to go more defensive and cautious and go unbalanced, but when we were like that before, we sort of allowed Juventus to come back into it. I actually think we're probably best staying the way we are. The 2 in midfield, you could argue one of them could maybe come off. Julian Fernandez, a lot of experience. I say a lot of experience, 24, more experience than most of our sides, but especially in this type of competition. Or the young man who's on loan from Manchester United, who's not particularly young. I'm going to go for the slightly older man and see if that makes a difference. And, clip that up if you want to. Here we go then. Let's see. Thames 2, Juventus 1. Is there to be, hopefully, no late drama, because this will take us top of the group as things stand. That's blocked. Okay, well, Juventus now. Don't make substitutions in Football Manager views. You're only changing what might happen. Don't do it. As they've got a nice bit of possession, working that right-hand side. I've got to say, from this position, as that ball's looped in, it's so comfortable. Paul Alonso. And there are only 4 names allowed in this Juventus team that are spread across every single player. It feels like there are. Thames 2, Juventus 2. Don't make changes ever, viewers, is the lesson, even if he's on a 6.5. This is just quite a hopeful ball. We step up as a team. Is there a problem there? I've been advised to make a change. I'm going to ignore that. Is there a problem? I guess he's playing him on side. These 2 not really in line with this guy. Brazil is playing them off. And, the other 2 aren't. Alonso just pulls off the back of Acacio, and it's quite simple for him. 10 minutes to go now. Now, we upped the tempo before, and it got us a goal. Do we up the tempo even more? This is one of those games I would love to win. I've praised the boys at 2-2. Some of them will like that. Some of them absolutely won't. As we've got one final change in our arsenal, do I want to make use of it? at this point? That's the question. I mean, we've got options. Packy McCarthy's 6'6". I'm just thinking if throwing an extra striker on late on might do the business. EBOH's been sacrificed. We're going to have to figure out what to do with him. I don't know what the best role is for him, whether it be Shadow Striker, oh, hello, highlight, whether it be Shadow Striker or play him as that playmaker and involve him more, and maybe alter the players behind him and don't have everyone play maybe quite so close together, give him more space to operate. That tends to be, oh my word, are we going to do it? Erman Trout's in. It was a header by Packy McCarthy, of all people, the 6'6" giant. They couldn't get the ball over him. We're going to play this short, obviously. There's 20 seconds to go. I feel like Juventus have just gifted it, and Erman Trout has bottled it. Ball goes out to Gil on that side. He's going to come back inside. It's not great from him as the ball's cleared away, and now we've got to be defensively sharp in the final minutes, and usually this is a slide tackle that ends in a throw-in. It's not been that. It is going to end in a throw-in? Yeah, just about. I mean, 2-2 against Juventus. Am I happy with this? I don't know if I'm happy with this. And I'm not, do you know, I'm not going to play Chelsea because we're going to have an EBOH conversation for the third video in a row. I want to talk in depth about him and how we get the best out of him and how he suits different roles. It's all well and good buying a player of this quality. It's absolutely pointless having him here if he's not going to perform at a level that we need him to be at to challenge for everything, really. That's not an ideal start, though, against Juventus. Then I think we play them again quite soon as it happens. Yeah, so hopefully the return fixture over in Turin can go away. But let's talk about this player then. And Nganch was probably wrong, but I mean, you look at the attributes he's got to play that role. It works quite well. Ordinarily, you play Nganch if he's slightly slower, right? That's logical. What do we do with him? How do you solve a problem like EBOH? Do you play him as the playmaker? He wants to be the playmaker. Is it obvious that you let him do that? And again, is it tactically a problem we've got behind him, right? So if you're going to play him as the playmaker and he's going to work everything else in together, what else can we change? Are we playing too quickly for him? Is that part of it? Like, on one level, we're being relatively successful like this, but again, he's my biggest outlay. It should work around him. Is everything here a little bit tight? Has he not got enough space to do what he wants to do? Now, we could drop it slightly further back and give him sort of more space to maneuver, but that's pretty risky in my eyes. Or do we simply try and work the ball around him more and let him be the centerpiece to everything? Again, if he is the playmaker in a team of non-playmakers, in theory, everything should go through him. But right now, it's not really working like that. Like, roam from position, maybe take that off, dribble more, maybe take that off, maybe simplify his role ever so slightly, and that might allow him to be a little bit more effective. Again, let me know in your comment section. Get involved in this. I'm sure you play a 4-2-3-1 at times. Like, I try and stay away from it if possible, but we're doing it towards the end of this series because it does seem to be very, very effective, especially in the Premier League. Like, it's the go-to formation these days, I feel like. There's other options. I realise you could play. And Gasson, can he play slightly deeper? No. I think Salatiel can, though. He can play slightly deeper as that playmaker. And again, maybe you give EBOH more reign to kind of do what he wants as an attacking Mazzala. Like, again, there's options for... This is the exciting thing. There are options for us. Of course, the problem we've got is that I've promised him that he's going to play as an attacking midfielder in an advanced playmaker role. But he's doing nothing there at the moment. And he's played there for me a fair amount already this season, and I can't afford, I feel like, to play him there forever in that role. He's had 11 appearances there so far. I've played him as an Nganch once. I've played him as a playmaker probably 9 times, and I think I played him as a shadow striker in one game. And it didn't work out all too well. I'm just noticing that actually, but internationally, he's played as a central midfielder. In 18 games, he's got 12 goals. Now, admittedly, he's playing in the African continent, which probably isn't quite as strong, but maybe that's the future for him. Maybe that's the way we get the best out of him. Salatiel drops a little deeper and sort of just dictates the game. And then you allow EBOH to just sort of have free reign at everything. What do you think, viewers? Again, let me know in the comment section. I know some of you would have wanted to see me play Chelsea here, but again, I find him fascinating as a player. He's obviously declining a little bit, but that's probably because he's playing a lot at a slightly higher level and he's just knackered. So I'm not too worried about that. We do have to find a way, though. Let me know, and I'll see you tomorrow for more. I'll read through the comments, and we'll discuss it tomorrow. We'll love with care. For until next time, I'll see you again soon. Goodbye.